All right, everyone. Now, before getting into MED Kettlebell Chains, I recommend a full warm-up. I want to provide you with, in minimalist fashion, 3 mobility exercises to perform before starting MED Kettlebell Chains. We already went over one of the mobility exercises in the section on the goblet squat. Now this has a couple of slight variations. This is the prying goblet squat. Let's pretend like we're doing a normal goblet squat. Swing the bell back, up into the rack. Find my good squat position, turning those heels in, dropping straight down into the bottom of the squat. Now, from here, you can see that my elbows hit about the same place as a goblet squat. Now, a couple of variations. I'm gonna start prying my hips side to side, trying to keep my feet on the ground because I have tight ankles from a lifetime of sprinting. My dorsiflexion is not where it needs to be, but I can go in a variety of directions, almost making figure eights, flossing all the joints. I feel this in my ankles and my hips primarily, but at the same time in the prying goblet squat, I'm lifting my chest and really extending those muscles of my lower and upper back and really packing those shoulders down. I might even perform a couple of curls in this position. And when I do that, my elbows sink deeper and deeper into my hips and I'm in a really upright position. Now, if performing from the side, I got a lot of good stretching in that position. If I perform a couple curls, you can see that I'm looking pretty mobile here, okay? Moving side to side. Now, next step, what if we want to stretch the ankles a little bit better before squats? What if I just put the kettlebell on top of my knee and I lean into that right side? About 70% of my weight is over this right side of my leg and over my right foot, and I feel a big stretch right here in the back. Performing this on both sides. It's a really nice stretch in the ankles. So as you can imagine, this is really preparing us for the rigors of doing double kettlebell front squats and double kettlebell overspeed front squats. This ankle I've sprained about 5 times. It definitely needs a lot more work on the dorsiflexion before I do squatting workouts. So what I want you to do with the prying goblet squat, spend about 45 seconds at the bottom. If you don't have a timer, you can count about 5 to 10 deep breaths, really sinking in and opening up the hips and the ankles. In this section, I also want to go over a couple of more stretches for the ankles. We're going to revisit these from our front squat section, but a lot of times our limiting factor in getting low in a squat is how flexible the ankles are, coming from these 2 muscles, the gastrocnemius and the soleus. If you have access to a curb, or even better, a slant board, this is going to be our best tool, holding some static stretches, making them active before we get into our MED Kettlebell Chains. So we would want to do something like this after our prying goblet squat. You can see that my knee is straight. This means I'm stretching out my gastrocnemius, that upper calf muscle. I might hold this stretch for about 90 seconds on each side. Now, we need to make sure that we also stretch the lower calf muscle, the soleus. How do we do that? Same idea, stepping onto the slant board, but bending the knee, okay? Bending that knee. And now I'm using my shin muscle, my tibialis anterior, and I'm attempting to pull my knee forward with that muscle. Now I'm starting to feel a stretch right around that Achilles tendon. And here, I'm also going to spend about 90 seconds. So a little effort goes a long way into having pain-free squatting movements and ensuring that you're able to drop straight down and straight up without a butt wing or without rounding your upper back. This is the prying goblet squat and some additional ankle stretches.